Hello, this is Kev, and this is BlkM being brutally honest. And what I want you to do is, if you haven't, please go to the screen and hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and just want to talk to y'all for a little bit, you know. So go and get those things done. Even hit that like button, and you might dislike what I'm saying, but anyway. Yes, we as black men, critical thinking black men, and over here on this YouTube channel, BlkM being brutally honest, and the habitual line steppers, we know that there are black men who don't get it. We do. We know, we don't pretend like they don't exist. And we hit basically all the archetypes of black men who don't get it. Anywhere from the pookies to the thugs to the weirdos and to what you see displayed on this screen here. Like, we even express disdain for the critical thinking black men. But, these black men right here, we like to put them in a category like we like to call the Butter Biscuit Brigade. Basically, they either they're in a position of power, but they don't do anything for the black community. And even doing things that are retroactive for the black community itself, the disenfranchised even. Or they vocally express their disdain for black causes. Like, the guy you see up here, Jason Whitlock, has been a huge critic of Colin Kaepernick. And it seems like more often than it should be, you're starting to see why Colin Kaepernick took that knee, or why he sat down in the first place. But anyway, I want you to take a look at this picture I have on display here. There's a black man, darker than I am, and I'm not a light person at all. As wearing a shirt that says "White Lives Matter," which to me is a very flawed statement, and because no one ever said white lives didn't matter. There may be some people saying it now because of what they've been through in their lives, but though that's another conversation. But no, speaking of which, we're gonna reflect on what some black men go through in their lives, even in this video, because I do believe, because of these men's life experiences, then they have taken this way of thinking. And this is not me trying to justify these guys or give them a pass, because we're all privy to the history in this country. It's a Google search away. If you really want to know, you can find it through various literary works and websites and historians, people who study this stuff. The information is out there. But what's going on is we have a group of black men that have made it and feel like that using systemic racism is an excuse, and is normally guys like this, guys like the guy in the shirt. Well, his woman is wearing Black Lives Matter, which I don't have a problem with people saying Black Lives Matter, because I feel like that the country needs to hear people say that a little bit more because of things that have been happening. Let's not even sugarcoat it. Like the police brutality and what you see all over mainstream media and social media when it comes to the narratives because of police brutality. We got a bunch of people that let us know that we have a long way to go in this country. And to go public with it and pretend like you don't understand and you're privy to the history, that's why people like Jason Whitlock catches the flack that he catches. Like I said, I have no problem with the saying of Black Lives Matter. The organization, however, I do feel differently about. But from women like her, we don't need it just because you're taking a black stick. And I'll just say that. Because she can go dressed any other way out in public and no one would even bother her with it. She doesn't have to be bothered like her boyfriend or husband. And the child, the mixed race child, it's like, I have nothing against kids at all. I am a firm believer in kids did not ask to be here. But they're starting to raise them on all lives matter. First of all, it's not just black lives and white lives. We're talking about, Muslim lives, we're talking about African lives, we're talking about European lives and Asian lives and so on and so forth. But Black Lives Matter is a conversation that needs to be had in this country. All lives matter is nothing but a retort. And if all lives matter, why is it every time something happens to every time something happens to somebody that's non-black, where's the all lives matter crowd? Where is the all lives matter crowd? Where's the all lives matter crowd when the cop is accused of accosting someone who isn't black? So anyway, I'm just saying, it's like, for this guy right here, he been getting roasted on social media. He's been getting called lost, and he may very well be. I mean, I feel like that people use no retort against Black Lives Matter is a sick joke. But if we're talking about the organization of Black Lives Matter, that's a different story. It does seem to me that there are black men who, once they make it a certain way, and I'm not criticizing the black men that have traveled abroad. I'm not criticizing them. I'm not criticizing black men who decided to leave the community and make a better life for themselves. You don't know what those men been through. You don't know. Y'all just, who knows? The guy in this picture might have a hood part of his family. And they just in the thick and they in the mess. He might have had a relative that, any one of these guys, they might have had a relative that got killed because they got sucked into the streets. And they didn't want that life for themselves like that. And then, and I do get it when they say, okay, if black people care so much, why don't they care? They seem to care or advocate to stop the killing in our community. I do get that, but that's an ignorant narrative. There are plenty of troubled communities out there that have outreach programs. There are plenty of churches that have stop the violence rallies, and not just churches too. Like I said, the community outreach programs. There are politicians. There are active leaders in each one of these cities. Hell, I even heard something about Chicago that you normally don't hear. Because every time you hear about Chicago, they kill each other in Chicago. They kill each other in Chicago. They kill each other in Chicago. Shoot, there's a lot, I hear that there's a lot of activism in Chicago. There's a lot of things that are being done to fix this. So I feel like these men right here, they had something unfortunate happen to them, and they're going with the bad bullshit narratives. Yeah. But getting back to that, getting back to what people go through with in their lives. I mean, as black people, the ones that are supposedly, we're the woke ones, we care about black and all this stuff, we're all pro-black. I see how these types of dudes get treated growing up. Hell, I could have been one of them. And I don't believe that a COON is just a man that's just reduced to a man that married a white woman. Because look at Robert Smith. I don't believe Robert Smith is like that at all. But they're trying to do something to him to renege his that good deed he did for that class of graduating boys. Because, really, at the end of the day, they don't want y'all doing nothing for young black men. They don't want y'all doing nothing. But, can you imagine that? Can you imagine growing up, trying to be the best you could be, and the people that look like you shit on you the most? And then, I heard a kid speak on a panel the other day talking about every time he goes to white people, he gets knowledge. He gets to hook up on jobs. And, I tried to advise him and recommend him, hey, man, look, just be very apprehensive. Don't be too trusting of that. But how can I blame him? How can I blame him based on my experiences and what I've seen? If you use good diction in your speech, a large portion of the black community will make fun of you for it. It was to the point, growing up in my home city, that I heard it twice a week. You talk like a white boy. But then, later on, when I became a teenager, I turn around, I see white teenage boys acting like they out of the hood and they black, yo this, yo that, and they would get total respect from the hood people and like not just the hood people, like the large majority of black people, including the black girls. Black girls used to just like love them for it, and they're being a caricature of what they think a black dude is to your face. Meanwhile, a dude just trying to get his schoolwork done, trying to maybe hang out sometimes. Y'all either ignore that guy or shit on him. You know, so they go through high school with this same bullshit, and then they're so smart and they do all this homework and stuff. They get a scholarship to an Ivy League university. They've been rejected from their home community, so when they go to the Ivy League university, hell, they run into them study groups with them white girls. I'm just giving you one scenario. I'm not saying that this always happens. Sometimes black men just choose to go outside their race and, you know, to forget where they came from because they have nothing but bad memories of it. You know? But sometimes you have, like, I'll tell you what, I rarely run into a black guy that had all these good experiences with black people and black women that do not fall in love with any other race of women. I understand that, but why are we not promoting and encouraging better environments for young black men? Why aren't we? So we won't have to deal with people on this mentality. Now, from what you guys say, these guys are just choosing to be like this. And some of them very well are choosing to be like this. But look at what these guys were exposed to. Look at some of the banter and some of the conversations that we have in this space. It's disgusting and embarrassing. And a lot of sensible people, which include young black men, do not want to be a part of it. And it's not fair to call every one of these guys coons. Because a lot of these guys love the community. It's just that they ended up marrying someone else. Think about it. Also, living in a community where if you give any kind of criticism to the women, you're known as toxic, abusive, weird. Who wants to stay in a community they feel like they don't count in? But I implore black men, especially, whatever your political view is, whatever your religious background is, whatever your cultural background is that we do need to get it together. I'm never gonna like mess with someone who is beyond hope and hostile and shitty toward me. You know, so I understand where these guys are coming from, but at the same time, man, don't act like shit didn't happen that black people can't be upset about. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all we're asking. I mean, it's already trendy to go in on black men, and people love to sit there and try to pretend like that's not the case. But that very well is the case, because it's like this. We are going to remember these guys' name forever. But any black woman that's like this, the only one that you're probably going to remember and probably forget about her too is Candace Owens. You done already forgot about Stacey Dash. And I'm not saying that, you know, if you're going to criticize black men, criticize black women. Just don't criticize anybody. Who are you at the end of the day anyway? I mean, shit. These conversations need to be had. But at the same time, it's like, how are you helping by trying to ostracize more and more blacks who have already been disenfranchised from this white supremacist society anyway? Are you helping or are you hurting? Sometimes I think you're hurting. Like, I don't think any of these guys will go in the neighborhood and shoot up the place. They just wanted to live peaceful lives. They may be a bit misguided. They may be a bit lost. But hey, why don't y'all walk up and go and ask these guys why? You know, maybe for once, show a little empathy. I mean, I don't too much care for their views, but their views are their views. You want your views as well. So just start being a little bit fair. But as far as their views, fuck those views. Ridiculous. These guys need to do better. Like, share, subscribe, and Kev We Trust. Goodbye.